Imagine being stranded on the edge of a rural highway, far from a service station, with one tired dead your family waiting inside, and the whole weight of a 3-row luxury SUV suddenly becoming your problem. For most drivers, that moment is brutally familiar. You pull over, dig through the cargo area, drag out a heavy jack kneel beside the vehicle, and start fighting gravity with steel sweat and frustration. That is how the automobile has worked for more than a century. But the Li Auto L9 attacks that old reality in a way that feels less like a feature and more like a warning shot. Instead of forcing the driver to lift the SUV, the vehicle can lift itself. Using its active air suspension, the L9 can raise and retract one corner of the body so the affected wheel hangs off the ground. No roadside crawling, no wrestling with a jack, no pretending that a $65,000 intelligent SUV should still depend on a tool from the mechanical age. And that is the disturbing part, because this is not really about changing a tire. It is about a deeper industrial shift. The suspension system is no longer just there to soften bumps. It is becoming an actuator, a recovery tool, a digital limb controlled by software. For Detroit, Europe, and every legacy luxury brand still selling comfort, as leather and silence that should be uncomfortable. But the self-lifting tire trick is only the first layer. The more serious threat appears when the L9 is no longer sitting still on pavement, but trapped in the kind of terrain that exposes every weakness in a heavy SUV. Deep sand, wet mud, loose ground. A place where weight becomes an enemy, and ground clearance alone is not enough. In a traditional luxury SUV, the response is predictable. Raise the ride height. Give the tires a little more space. Hope the traction control system can brake the spinning wheel fast enough to move torque somewhere useful. Sometimes that works. But often, the vehicle simply digs itself deeper. The L9 approaches the problem differently. Its active suspension is designed not just to hold the body above the road, but to physically manipulate the body's movement. When the vehicle detects that it is stuck, the suspension can create a repeated lifting and bouncing motion, shifting weight across the tires and helping them bite into fresh surface material. That matters because traction is not magic. It is pressure timing, contact patch, and weight transfer. If a tire keeps grinding the same loose sand, it creates its own grave. But if the vehicle can change its load pattern, even for a split second, it can give the tires a new chance to claw forward. This is why the L9 feels different from older luxury off-road logic. Legacy SUVs were built around mechanical strength, locking differentials, low-range gearing, rigid hardware, and driver skill. The L9 suggests a new philosophy: let software command the suspension like a set of mechanical legs. That does not make old off-road engineering worthless. But it does mean the battlefield is changing. Then the story moves from convenience to survival, because a vehicle can be intelligent, comfortable, and full of software. But none of that matters if the passenger cell fails when physics turns violent. The L9's claim is not only that it can move its suspension like a machine with muscles. The deeper claim is that the body structure underneath the technology is strong enough to protect the people inside when the worst happens. In the original demonstration discussed around the L9, the SUV was placed in a brutal sandwich scenario, trapped between two commercial trucks, each weighing around 8 tons. A heavy truck struck from behind, driving the SUV forward into another truck in front. That is not a gentle laboratory image. That is the kind of impact families fear on highways when traffic stops suddenly and mass has nowhere to go. For many large SUVs, this is where the marketing language ends and the steel tells the truth. The L9 structure was presented as holding its passenger space intact. The critical pillars remained standing. The doors were able to unlock, and the cabin survival zone did not appear to collapse into the occupants. That matters because luxury is meaningless if it only survives in a showroom. A true family SUV has to answer a darker question: what happens when 16 tons of moving industrial mass closes in from both sides? This is where the L9 stops looking like a gadget-filled Chinese SUV and starts looking like a structural statement. Software may define the future car, but steel still decides who walks away. But the real industrial disruption is not the suspension. It is hidden under the hood where the L9 takes one of the most emotionally charged debates in the auto industry, gasoline versus electricity, and refuses to choose either side in the traditional way. For years, American buyers have been told there are only two serious paths forward: stay with combustion and keep the familiar freedom of fast refueling, or move to a pure EV and accept the new reality of charging stops, battery planning, and range anxiety on long trips. Traditional plug-in hybrids tried to sit in the middle, but many of them carried the weaknesses of both worlds: a combustion engine, an electric motor, a transmission, a battery, extra weight, and a driving experience that could feel like two separate machines arguing with each other. The Li Auto L9 uses a different logic. Under the hood sits a 1.5-liter turbocharged gasoline engine. It burns fuel, it has pistons, it makes sound. But here's the twist that breaks the old automotive instinct that engine does not drive the wheels. There is no normal mechanical connection sending engine torques to the road. No traditional drive shaft doing the real work. The gasoline engine exists as an onboard generator operating in a narrow, efficient range to produce electricity. That electricity is then sent to the battery pack or directly to the electric motors that actually move the SUV. In other words, the L9 behaves like an electric vehicle, but it carries its own power station. That distinction matters. A normal hybrid still treats the combustion engine as part of the driving system. The L9 treats it as infrastructure. The road is handled by electric motors. The gasoline engine is reduced to one job: create power when the battery needs help. For American buyers especially, those used to long highways, unpredictable weather, and family road trips, this is not a small technical footnote. It is a direct attack on the psychological weakness of pure EV adoption. The L9 does not ask the driver to trust the charging network. It brings a generator with it. This is where the L9 becomes dangerous to the old EV argument. For daily life, the vehicle can operate like a pure electric SUV. The battery pack is large enough to cover the normal rhythm of family use: school runs, office commutes, grocery trips, evening traffic, and the quiet routine of plugging in at home. In that world, the gasoline engine can stay silent for days or even weeks. But America is not only built around daily commutes. America is built around distance. Texas highways, Midwest winters, mountain roads in Colorado, long family drives where the next charger may be crowded, broken slow, or simply in the wrong place. This is where range anxiety stops being a talking point and becomes a real purchasing barrier. The L9 attacks that fear with numbers. With its 52.3 kilowatt-hour battery and extended range generator system, it can deliver roughly 133 miles of pure electric driving and a total combined range often cited at more than 800 miles when the battery and fuel tank work together. That changes the emotional contract between driver and machine. You still get the instant torques of electric motors. You still get the smooth, quiet driving feel that makes EVs so addictive in traffic. But when the battery drops, the vehicle does not force the driver into a charging gamble. The generator starts producing electricity, and the trip continues. This is not the same as saying EREV is the final answer for every market, but it does expose a weakness in the pure EV story: infrastructure matters. And until charging is as invisible, fast, and reliable as gasoline, a vehicle that feels electric but refuels like a conventional car becomes a serious threat. The L9's message is simple. Range anxiety is not solved by optimism. It is solved by engineering. But hardware alone does not make the L9 dangerous. The real shift begins when that hardware is connected to a brain powerful enough to see, calculate, and react before the driver even understands what is happening. Mounted above the windshield is a forward-facing 128-line LiDAR sensor designed to build a precise three-dimensional picture of the road ahead. Around it sits a full perception network, high-definition cameras, millimeter wave radar, and ultrasonic sensors watching the vehicle's surroundings from multiple angles. This is not just about lane keeping. This is about turning the SUV into a rolling data machine. Every second, The L9 is reading distance speed lane markings surrounding traffic, pedestrians, road texture, and obstacles that human eyes may notice too late. But sensors are only scouts. The real command center is the computing platform behind them. Li Auto equipped the L9's AD Max system with dual NVIDIA Orin X processors, delivering up to 508 trillion operations per second. That kind of computing power changes the meaning of driver assistance. It allows the vehicle to fuse data from cameras, radar, LiDAR, and ultrasonic sensors into one operating picture of the world. And that operating picture is not limited to steering. It feeds into how the vehicle moves, how it prepares for the road, and how it manages comfort before impact reaches the passengers. This is where legacy automakers should pay attention. The new luxury SUV is not just a better-built machine. It is becoming a software-defined organism, where sensors act like eyes, processors act like a nervous system, and the suspension becomes the body responding in real time. Detroit spent a century perfecting mechanical reaction. The L9 is betting on digital prediction. That digital prediction becomes most visible in the suspension. In a traditional SUV, the suspension is reactive. The wheel hits the pothole first. The shock absorber receives the violence. The body moves. The passengers feel the impact. Then the system tries to control the aftermath. That is old logic. The L9's approach is different because the vehicle is not waiting for the road to attack it. Using its camera and LiDAR perception, the SUV can scan the surface ahead, identify rough pavement speed bumps, potholes, or uneven patches, and prepare the suspension before the tire reaches the obstacle. Milliseconds matter here. If the front left wheel is about to hit a pothole, the computer can adjust damping at that specific corner before the impact arrives. The tire still meets the road. Physics does not disappear, but the violence is absorbed lower in the system, while the passenger cabin remains calmer and more controlled. This is the real meaning of predictive suspension. It is not magic. It is data arriving before impact. For American drivers, picture a broken Michigan road after winter where freeze-thaw cycles turn pavement into a battlefield, or a rough construction zone outside Dallas, where an expensive SUV is supposed to protect the family inside from every slap of damaged asphalt. Legacy luxury tried to solve that with softer springs, thicker tires, better insulation, and heavier bodies. The L9 suggests something colder and more advanced. Do not merely cushion the road. Read it. Prepare for it. Erase the shock before the people inside fully understand it was there. That is why the suspension story matters. It is not about comfort anymore. It is about software taking command of motion itself. Then the L9 moves the battlefield inside the cabin. For decades, legacy luxury brands defined a premium SUV from the driver's seat outward. Better leather, more polished trim, a quieter engine note, a larger badge on the grille. The message was simple. Luxury was something you looked at, touched, and associated with status. Li Auto attacks that definition from the opposite direction. The L9 is designed less like a traditional SUV and more like a moving family command center. The driver does not rely on a conventional gauge cluster in the old sense. Key information is pushed onto a large head-up display, while a small screen in the steering wheel adds another layer of interaction. The dashboard becomes less about decoration and more about information flow. Then the real shift appears in the passenger zones. The front passenger gets a dedicated screen. The second row gets captain's chairs with heating, ventilation, and massage. A large rear entertainment display folds down from the ceiling, turning the back of the vehicle into a private theater. For families, that matters more than another strip of wood trim across the dashboard. But the more aggressive idea is control. Instead of filling the cabin with physical buttons, the L9 uses 3D time-of-flight sensors to read hand movement. Passengers can interact with screens, adjust functions, or control certain cabin features through gestures in the air. Point, swipe, select. The vehicle starts to feel less like a machine with switches and more like a digital room responding to the people inside it. Add the refrigerator and heating function in the center console, the multi-speaker surround sound system, and the passenger first layout, and the message becomes clear. This is not luxury as heritage. This is luxury as service. The old European formula said sit inside our brand and feel important. The L9’s formula says sit inside our system and watch the vehicle work for you. That is a dangerous change, because once buyers start judging luxury by usefulness, prediction, entertainment, and family comfort, the legacy advantage of badge prestige becomes much weaker. This is why the L9 cannot be dismissed as just another tech-heavy SUV. The real threat is not that it has more screens, more sensors, or more comfort features. Legacy automakers can add screens. They can add ambient lighting. They can add larger batteries and more expensive trim packages. The threat is that Li Auto is changing what buyers expect a luxury SUV to solve. A Range Rover, Mercedes GLS, BMW X7, or Cadillac Escalade has traditionally sold a very clear promise: status, power, space, comfort, and brand authority. Those vehicles were not only transportation, they were symbols of success, engineering confidence, and cultural position. But the L9 attacks a different layer of ownership. It asks why a luxury SUV should still need a roadside jack, why a family vehicle should still make road trips feel dependent on charging luck, why suspension should only react after the body has already been shaken, why rear passengers should be treated as cargo instead of the center of the experience. That is a more dangerous kind of competition, because once luxury becomes problem-solving, the old hierarchy starts to crack. The badge on the grille matters less if another vehicle can protect comfort, extend range, read the road, manage the cabin, and reduce daily friction in ways the old icons did not prioritize. This does not mean Detroit or Europe are finished, but it does mean the benchmark has moved. The next luxury war will not be won only by horsepower, leather quality, or brand history. It will be won by integration, battery generators, suspension sensors, software, cabin intelligence, and real-world usefulness, working as one system. And that is exactly the battlefield where legacy automakers look most exposed. The Li Auto L9 is not frightening because it is perfect. It is frightening because it shows where the industry is going. A luxury SUV is no longer just a body-on-frame monument, a V8 badge, a leather cabin, or a century-old nameplate. It is becoming a networked machine that can lift itself, rescue itself, generate its own electricity, read the road ahead, manage the people inside, and turn software into physical action. That is the shift legacy automakers cannot afford to misunderstand. Because the old luxury formula was built on prestige, the new one is being built on intelligence. And intelligence does not care how famous your badge is. It cares how many problems the vehicle can eliminate before the owner even feels them. So the real question is not whether Li Auto will conquer America tomorrow. The real question is whether Detroit, Europe, and every traditional luxury brand can move fast enough before buyers stop asking, "What brand is this?" and start asking something far more dangerous. What can this vehicle do for me that the old icons still cannot?